Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Well, today we're gonna do a quick review, maybe a long review. We'll see how it goes. We'll see what we're gonna find. We're gonna review filters for Cummins 5.9, 6.7 engines. So we have three filters. AMSOIL filter, rated for 25,000 miles. Fleetguard, there is no box. This is the reason why it's. And Mopar, the genuine part or OEM part. We're going to compare three of them and we're going to look at it, the details. We're going to look at it inside. We're going to cut it open and compare and see who makes the best filter for Cummins engine. For Cummins in Dodge Ram pickup trucks and for Cummins just in overall. And you're going to be the judge. You're going to decide it yourself what's important to you. Few dollar savings on a short run or trouble-free equipment on a long run. So we'll start with AMSOIL. 25k mile change intervals the filter is designed for, and that's the maximum you can go with AMSOIL filter. If you look on the back, there is a chart and how efficient these filters are. AMSOIL filters, and there's a comparison. You can actually see and compare how efficient at 20 microns AMSOIL filter 98.7. then you can take a look at yourself. Chevrolet 95% efficiency, 94, and it just goes down at 20 microns. Average. This is the average efficiency of the filters. So next one, I guess I should go more into details. Open up the box and show you. 25,000 miles change interval. This is a full flow with advanced full flow synthetic media. With advanced full synthetic media, remove more contaminants for superior engine protection. Product of USA. So this filter made is in USA, which is nice. Next one we're going to look at it, Fleetguard filter. I guess we should remove the Fleetguard filter is 30 micron efficiency at 98 point something. And it's made in Mexico. So for the filter made outside the US, the prices should be a lot lower, but there's a high markups. You're not really paying much for the quality. You pay more for just the name and the markups. So this is the Fleetguard made in Mexico. And then we have oil filter, the Mopar OEM, the genuine. Let's see what it says. If it says anything about synthetic filter, it doesn't say anything about if it's synthetic media or not. It only says it can withstand up to 30 psi, double lock seam, maximum dirt retention. There's internal lubricated seal gaskets, provides better torque removal for easy replacement. So we don't know the efficiency of this filter. We know it's for 5.9 and 6.7 Cummins, and it's made in right there. It's made in Mexico too. So let's open up. So the filter is in a box without protective plastic. Same thing, it says made in Mexico. There is no details in terms of what type of media they're using. And the efficiency of the Fleetguard filter is, let me give you a little bit details. AMSOIL is 20 microns at 98, 30 microns for the Fleetguard, 30 at 98 point something, and Mopar there is no specs. I do not know the specs for the Mopar oil filter in terms of microns. So the smaller the microns, the better for the filter media to remove the particulates. I will show you guys on the screen what is a talcum powder. You'll see I'll give you guys this picture, you can see for your own reference. But when you have stuff that it's, how does the filter works? You know, let me give you a short, quick rundown. 30 microns is anything 30 and above will be filtrated. So when you have a particle size 30 microns and above, the filter will filter out. Anything smaller than 30 microns, it will not filter out. It will just flow through. Most of the engine damage happens with a small, fine stuff that you can barely see it, but it's visible under microscope. 20 microns is definitely a better for full flow filter. It will filter out the small, that soot, that very fine stuff. When you have a large stuff like 30 microns and up, usually have a problem with the engine. That means there is something going on with your engine when you have a large stuff that now requires a filter media to trap it. What about the small stuff? Well, when you have an engine problems, yes, it will trap it, but that's too late already. You have an engine problem. But when you have a stuff like a fine soot and small sludge or whatever is the byproducts in your oil, you need to filter them out from the oil to prevent any further contamination of the oil and to prevent engine from wearing out. So that's where 20 microns comes in and becomes a big plus with oil in the oil filter. So we're gonna remove this plastic. I know I'm gonna get a question from you guys in terms of, so I have the filter cut open. So we're gonna look at it and examine from the base caps, I guess, first. If you noticed, the cap or the base of the filter where it attaches to the engine, there's different design. By the way, Fleetguard, what you're looking at it is, I'll give you more details later. Look at the holes. Mopar, Chrysler, OEM, Fleetguard has more holes. Why does it has more holes versus AMSOIL? Very interesting. And look at the plate design. You see it's AMSOIL flat surface. More of a flat. Look how curved the shape of Fleetguard, and then same thing with Mopar. Very interesting, and I'll give you the reasons why they do it the way they're doing it. Why there is more holes in Fleetguard and Mopar versus AMSOIL. Look at the distance between the filter and the cap and the top of the, I guess we'll remove the seal. See the distance? OEM and Fleetguard is more restrictive on the top, so you have less room for the oil to flow versus the AMSOIL. So this is the reason why you see the AMSOIL is double the height, even more than double, almost triple the height. That's the reason why there is less holes in the base plate, because you have less restriction. You have more restriction between the base plate and the top of the filter, and same thing with the OEM. Look at this. So OEM is more restricted when it starts pumping. When oil starts flowing, it's automatically, let me show you. Well, I can't, right. You see the distance between the oil filter and the holes? There is pretty much no space. It's very restricted. And then if you look at the AMSOIL, you see the difference? There is no restriction, so the oil flows much easily. Again, I'm gonna use a better light to show you guys the distance, how much, not sure if you can see, but how much less restrictive AMSOIL. You have almost, what, 3/8, almost half an inch space between the filter and the base plate. While with Mopar and Fleetguard, well, you pretty much don't get anything. You get like 1/16. And I guess would be good thing to, same thing right there. You see how restrictive? You're talking about 1/8, not even 1/8, 1/16 of a space. So very restrictive when it comes to oil flow. So that explains why they have more holes, because the oil filter is very restrictive when it starts pumping. Here is the thing. When the oil starts pumping, it goes through those holes and then flows out. And when it flows, when it hits this surface here first, then it goes down. Either it gets bypassed if it's cold in the morning, or if it doesn't get bypassed, if its oil is warm, then it filtrates. Same thing with AMSOIL. But you have less restriction, you have more space, so it's easier for oil to flow. Let's see how much space in between media, Fleetguard versus AMSOIL. I think they're pretty much the same. I can't see the difference. If there is, maybe minor, maybe there is no difference at all. So now we know the difference and why there is more holes with OEM, because they're more restrictive. They're more restrictive, so they block the oil from flowing freely. I guess it doesn't hurt to measure the distance actually. How much less restrictive AMSOIL filter is. Let's see. So if we're talking about, it's about half an inch, easy half an inch. Because of this lip, so I can't really, so I'll give you guys the best I can. So half an inch easy. You have space for oil to flow easily. With Fleetguard and Mopar, it's 1/8. It's barely 1/8. It's actually less than 1/8. So very restrictive. So when oil flows, it hits this plate first and then goes down, and that's why more holes they created. So you have less restrict. So it flows easily, but still it's very restrictive filter. Factory and Fleetguard. Next, we'll examine, I guess the rings, O-rings. Actually, AMSOIL is even better design versus OEM. You see the difference? This is just like a ring type, and this is more of a, so you get it sealed from top and sides. This one doesn't seal from the top, it's only the sides that's been sealed. So that explains the efficiency, why the efficiency is factory filter is much less efficient. So that's the difference. Let's pull it out. Let's see. Let's pull out the AMSOIL and go from there. Let's do a review. So when you pull out the filter, there's a filter media. They definitely did more glue than it should be. This is definitely not the best what I seen. I seen a lot better. And again, look at this, guys. Look at the difference of thickness. Look at the plates. AMSOIL, you see the difference? Easy half an inch, if not more. And that one is barely 1/8. So that's the reason why there's more holes, because the filter is very restrictive. And I guess on the inside then you have this spring, metal spring. Some use metal springs, that plate spring type of. Other use actual springs. So it depends on It depends on the design. See here, there is an actual spring. Actually pretty heavy duty spring, just like it will require a lot of force, actually, just like that metal plate spring, you know what I mean? It will require a lot of force to press it in. And then let's take a look at, oh no, look at this media. This is a joke media. No way. They're using a outdated media. Same thing, they have a spring for the bypass. Inside there is no magnet or anything. There is no magnet. Same thing, there is no magnet. Filter media, AMSOIL. Synthetic. This Fleetguard is Stratapor, if I'm pronouncing correctly, media. It's very soft. Very soft. It feels like more like a very fine cotton. Actually, look at those fibers. Looks like it's falling apart already, or what? Huh. That's interesting. Let me give you up close with AMSOIL. There's no fibers or anything. And then you have this. This is a cellulose media. This is not even synthetic media. This is a joke. Pushing your Cummins engine 15,000 miles with this type of media, it's the biggest and dumbest thing a person can do. There is no way. This is a joke. This media is no different than the cheap stuff, the orange filters. Forgot the name of the brand. Can't think of the name. You guys know those orange filters that they use, the cheap filter. This is exactly the same thing. Cellulose, non-synthetic. The best, they're good at maximum 5,000 miles highway mileage. Otherwise, they just keep bypassing. They definitely did just as good as AMSOIL, making sure it's glued well. There is no gaps, you know. In terms of using the glue enough, they definitely used enough glue. When it comes to this brand, the Fleetguard, it's a little bit different. There's barely any glue. There's not very. I'm a little bit surprised with their fiber. You know what I mean? That's falling apart. Media, but very soft. I'm not sure how well it will hold up. Actually, how well they do hold up. When I see, you know, cut open after 10,000 and see how much damage and how well they're holding up. So, but very soft. I think it's synthetic. Not sure. I couldn't really find what type of material this is. Stratapor, if I'm pronouncing correctly, Fleetguard uses. Very interesting. Filters, same height, but springs are different. I feel like a lot of oil on OEM filter is just being bypassed without being filtered. Probably the filter media is just loose, bouncing around. Very interesting. And again, this is well, actually, yes, the springs will be different because this is a different filter number for this Fleetguard. It's actually not the same as they sent me the wrong filter number, but I'm pretty sure that the inside will be the same thing. So I had to cut the filter media. Let's take a look at each one up close. This is cellulose, the OEM Fleetguard on the Mopar. Nothing special about it. Just a regular cellulose media that's been around for, I don't know, 70, 80 years probably. Cheap stuff. works okay. Definitely not for the engines that run hot with DPF or performance engine. Yeah, this media is definitely okay for older 12 valve unmodified stock engines. For anything newer, or if it's even gas engine, definitely would not recommend using this unless you don't care about longevity of your engine. This is cheap stuff. Some of you might say I'm being biased. No, you know, this is old. This is not a performance media. This stuff is been around for long, and many brands are dumping. This is cellulose made out of wood. See if we can do a better job zooming in. So I have this sample cut. There is no, so basically it's hard as a rock until it becomes wet with oils or soiled with oil, whatever you want to call it. Thickness of it, just a standard thickness like any other filters. Pushing this filter, like I said, past 15,000 is big no-no. Past even 3,000 is you asking for trouble. You're asking for an engine to have a blow-by, oil consumptions, and all kind of issues. Turbo failures. If you want turbo failures, well, then you use the factory stuff, factory filters. And this is the cap. It was easily to top of it to remove. Very thin metal. And since the media is not synthetic, very easily to remove. It rips easily, no problem. You can cut it with pretty much anything. Fleetguard, that's a different story. Definitely a solid construction. You know, there is no chipping out on glue. They use plenty of glue. They have a metal mesh for backing. Their own filter media. I'm not big fan of this. I prefer synthetic glass media that everyone else uses. But I'm not sure. I do not know how long this is rated for, and for how many miles. I know it's only designed to filter out big stuff, not for small stuff. Definitely in terms of construction quality, you have this mesh to prevent filter from collapsing. Media is very soft. Very soft, feels like just like a cotton. Very soft media. I want to see how well it holds up actually under pressure. So this is it. Something else that I want to, pointing out. If you notice it in the back with these filters, they all have caps except for AMSOIL. AMSOIL has a different design. So AMSOIL is less interesting, less restrictive, but better efficient. Filters out oil better. So that's something to consider, you know. And the last, we'll look at the AMSOIL. Still has this metal, definitely better construction, you know. With Fleetguard, this separates easily, falls apart. This one here, it's solid, you know what I mean. It doesn't want to go anywhere. The glass media, synthetic glass media, is definitely a game changer. That extra glue that you see in it definitely holds it extremely well. So there is no way of filter giving up or failing. It's a one solid filter. And the media thickness, it's about the same thickness as far as I can tell with Fleetguard. Definitely quality media. You know, as you can see, it does not separate easily. It's not glued, but somehow it takes an effort to separate. So definitely it's the mesh, the metal mesh. I'm not sure if it's aluminum or steel or stainless steel. I do not know. Definitely stronger than Fleetguard. Much more thicker. Yes, definitely thicker. It feels thicker versus Fleetguard. Fleetguard, it's much softer kind of. So these are the differences. And since if you made it this far, when I ordered the Fleetguard filter, they sent me the wrong one. So this is for Cummins, but it's not for 5.9 or 5.7. So this may be for 8.3. But you get that idea. If this was for 5.7 or 4.59 or 6.7, same construction, same design, because when it comes to filter media, filters, they don't deviate. Whoever makes it, if it's a Mopar, they all across the Mopar use the same media. If it's a Fleetguard, they use the same media across the board. If it's an AMSOIL, they use the same media, same design. It's just different size and different part number, so it fits different models. So you make a decision as to what you wanted out of your equipment. You're gonna be cheap. You're gonna pay the price later down the road. Oil consumption, turbo failures if you have turbo, engine noise, lifters will wear out, because filter is what filtrates your oil. It's what keeps your oil clean and pure and prevents circulating junk, debris, soot, sludge, byproducts from being injected back into the oil stream and taking out and destroying and wearing out all your components. So price-wise, they're all priced about the same. Maybe, I don't remember, maybe Mopar cost a little bit less, but you get what you pay. So if you have questions, drop me comments. So this is it pretty much. You know, the construction of AMSOIL is definitely heavy duty. Even the metal is thicker versus Fleetguard or frame. Definitely construction is, I should have waited, but too late now, versus other brands. So this is it pretty much. This is what I have, and well, thank you for watching, subscribing. Don't forget to share this video with others, and let me know in the comment section what you prefer after watching this video and what you've been using. Stay tuned, there will be more. I'll be doing testing, actually flow testing of filters. It's coming up.